it's been very rewarding to mentor and mold future sailors, to get to see them light up at experiences that I had 15 years ago, but it's still profound. This morning went up, got some sunlight because I usually spend time in ops. Sitting up there for a couple minutes, saw a pod of killer whales go by, and people pay for that opportunity to go whale watching, and I get to do it for free.
Welcome to this special series of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. In these short episodes, we're exploring two big questions. What do careers actually look like in the Royal Canadian Navy? And how has the Navy set up these men and women who serve our nation for success after leaving their career in the Navy? And to get these answers, we're joined by the crew members of the HMCS St. John's Halifax, who are going to talk about their own experiences and their own careers. And we're also going to talk to the men and women who serve these boats on shore to ensure they have all the support they need as they travel the world. It's like being on the ship while you're in your home. So without further delay, we bring you this special episode of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. Welcome back to the Sea of Opportunities podcast. I'm Michael Sangster, and I am joined by First Class Petty Officer Anthony Hickey, who's got a couple of titles, but above water warfare operator is one of them. But as we've learned on our time on board and with our interviews that we've been doing, everybody's got a couple of jobs. And Anthony has served our nation for 21 years in the Navy. Talk to us a little bit about your life, sir, and yourself before we get too far into it, your life in the Navy.
Been doing it for 21 years. I have a wife. I have 2 kids. They've been very supportive throughout. This is my 6th deployment. I've done quite a few. Served my country all over the world, Persian Gulf, Black Sea, the Baltic. I go where I'm needed. And I've been absolutely enjoying it throughout. Obviously, if I didn't, I wouldn't still be doing it.
Are you on a full 6 month? Are you with the ship for the whole run here?
I am.
There's a few people we've chatted with that have had a shorter one, 3 months, but you're in for 6 months. It's quite a toll on your family, isn't it?
It is. Earlier on, you come to accept that you'll miss things, but everybody makes sacrifices to do what they can to support their families. And this is the career path I chose, and no regrets. It's less than ideal to miss things. I was on IMCERTS, which is our workups program. I missed my eldest son's graduation and his prom. Got to see pictures over Facebook. I got to talk to him over the phone. You make do. It's not exactly conventional, but after X amount of years, everybody's used to it.
We interviewed a chef earlier today talking about his buttered chicken and the pride that came across his face when he said that the men and women on board just loved that dish and he was proud to make it. Your family feels that same pride for you, although they've missed you at a function, right?
Absolutely. I come from a long line of sailors. My father served for 33 years, and I think that's what motivated me to join is because I saw the pride that he took into his work. We've always considered this the family business. I've had multiple people within different fields, and we've all taken pride in what we do. Like the homecomings isn't as significant. We all understand what we've been through, and it's kind of low key, but it's quiet admiration.
So what was your training when you joined the Navy? Where did you come from?
So I joined in Halifax, and because the only training fleet they had available was in Esquimalt. So obviously I did basic training like every other CAF member. I did my NETP, Naval Environment Training Program. So to get you acclimated to life at sea, DC, damage control, things along those lines, basically making you a fully functional CAF member, fully functional sailor, and then on to your trades training, which was 6 months in Esquimalt. Things that were covered initially, primarily our job is electronic warfare. So detection of enemy emissions, communications intercepts, building the recognized maritime picture.
One of the things we're trying to talk about is careers in the Navy. So we encourage our graduates and our students to take a look at the Navy. And we've had more interaction in the last year with recruiters and other people coming into colleges and talking to them. And we're getting an interesting reaction. There's more of an awareness, I think, of the unique, diverse, and leadership opportunities that exist in the military. It's been a good career for you, hasn't it?
Absolutely. As far as leadership opportunities are concerned, I've had multiple leadership courses, primary leadership qualification, intermediate, and we go into advanced later on. but I've had the opportunity to lead quite a few people. Right now, I have a team of 15 at sea that are under my wing. It's been very rewarding to mentor and mold future sailors, to get to see them light up at experiences that I had 15 years ago, but it's still profound. This morning went up, got some sunlight because I usually spend time in ops. Sitting up there for a couple minutes, saw a pod of killer whales go by, and people pay for that opportunity to go whale watching, and I get to do it for free.
And you got to do it 2,600 miles away from Halifax.
That's right, yeah.
And if I'm correct, what is the closest thing to you, ignoring the Azores, what is the closest thing to you with human beings on it right now?
There may be other ships, but last time I checked the radar plot, there wasn't. But to acclimate my guys to life at sea, I give them an appreciation of how isolated we are in the middle of the Atlantic. So once we're 250 miles away from land, the closest people to us is the International Space Station.
That blew my mind when you told that to us before we went on air.
Yeah, like you go up top, you take a look around, and as far as the eye can see, it's the sea. And you come down below and you sit in ops, you look at the TAC plot or our map, and there is nothing anywhere near us for hundreds of miles.
So when we talk to students and graduates from our colleges about opportunities in the Navy, I would think there's a couple of things that stand out. But one is financial stability, employment stability, pension. All of these things are good. Benefits are all good. But you get to serve your nation. How many people get to wear their flag on their shoulder?
Not very many.
As I jokingly said to somebody the other day, it's people in the armed forces, and it's the guys who play football and hockey in the pro leagues who they put a fake little Canadian maple leaf on there compared to what you guys get to wear.
Right, exactly.
So there's an immense pride, isn't there, on board?
Oh, absolutely. People gain a new appreciation, especially on operations where they get to see where the rubber hits the road. Not only going through training, but seeing where that training is applied, interacting with our allies. It's incredibly rewarding.
Can you talk a little bit about the mission? I'm sure there's things you can't talk about, but the mission you're on now, you've pulled out of Halifax, you're headed over towards Europe. Can you talk a little bit about the mission?
Absolutely. So this is Op Reassurance 2025 Roto 4. Reassurance being that we show our NATO allies that Canada is still present, monitoring activities, particularly Russian, in the region, ensuring freedom of movement, assisting wherever we can in search and rescue operations, or anything that we could do to reassure our allies that Canada is there to support.
I won't ask you to talk about politics. I had the Vice Admiral on my other podcast a couple of weeks ago, and we chatted about it a little bit, but it's nice to see the government of Canada stepping up, increasing our commitments towards military spending. And that doesn't just mean buying weapons. That means also taking care of the men and women and their families. Talk to me a little bit about what's that like, the stress at home. Does your spouse serve?
No, she does not.
So there's a certain stress on her as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. There is a stress on her. And it's one of the things that we screen for prior to deployment is we sit down with a social worker, padre, psychologist to make sure that they have the support as well. Like, not only are we fighting fit to go overseas and deal with that kind of isolation, but is your spouse in the same mindset that this is what you're going to experience and it's all going to be on you. There's going to be times where I won't be able to communicate on a regular basis. We may be in emission control restrictions. So it has its own challenges. Like I said, this is my 6th deployment. So my wife isn't new to this experience, but she has a vast support system. And that makes all the difference.
You've seen in your career an improvement, I'm guessing, in the way the family's treated within the Navy and the military, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Your family they're an extension of the mission. If you're in a good mental health place and they're being taken care of, you can truly focus at the job at hand.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing worse than sitting on the set. I mean, I sit on radar about 12 hours a day, and I need to be focused on what I'm looking at, what I'm doing, any other products that I'm producing, or intelligence reports. I need to be zoned in on that. So if I'm worried about what's happening back home, I'm less effective at what I need to do.
Every sailor we've met, except for the captain who just has one job, every sailor we've met seems to have a second job. Do you have a second role on board the ship, like firefighting? And I met a weapons officer who was a firefighter. I met a cook who deals with patient treatment in an emergency. Or do you have another role or that you have responsibility for on board?
Not typically, because what I have is a very specialized set of skills. There's only two people on board who possess them. So when things happen, myself and my counterpart, the above water warfare officer, close out in ops. And essentially, I'm there as, if he's on watch, I'm there as backup in the event that he hits his threshold, can't do this anymore. It's a high tempo environment. So I'll just bounce him out of the chair and I'll carry on. Somebody still needs to defend the ship, and I'm there to fill that role.
I'm having a Liam Neeson moment here you have a special set of skills. Isn't that his line in that movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We have to have a little chuckle here. Before we wind up, a couple of things we like to ask people so they have a moment. But do you have a message for Canadians or a message for people who are considering a life in the Navy? And then do you want to finish with a bit of a message for anybody in your own life that you just want them to have a moment to hear in your own words, in your own voice, something you want to share?
Talking to the rest of Canada, I've been shocked. I've gone overseas. I've been into ports, and I've run into Canadians abroad, and they've been astounded that we have a Navy, that we conduct operations, that we're working, with our allies and everything else. That people see the RCN as something that's in the margins as far as NATO is concerned. But we have a lot of hardworking people out here willing to do the business, taking that time to be away from their families. That's one of the only things that I would want to pass on to Canadians, is that we're here. I wish the knowledge was a little broader, and there was a little more appreciation. I think people just don't know.
It's a little bit of what we're trying to do here. Not just show the career opportunities, but just the thanks that we have. But there are amazing careers available in the Royal Canadian Navy, from cybersecurity operators to logistics people to cooks to captains that just order you around and look important.
Of course.
I have to say that we had Captain Anderson on the podcast, and I managed to see him at Fleet Week. He would chuckle at that joke.
Right. He just keeps us on the straight and narrow, provides direction to the rest of the team.
Well, I enjoyed the time on ship with the Leaders at Sea program, because there was a camaraderie, there was a lightness to the place. But when we did mission, when they turned into training, when they went into man overboard, when they went into even moving, you had some contractors on board testing things. When it came time to offboard them onto a Zodiac to send them back to shore, everything got very serious on the bridge. There was no messing around.
We flipped the switch. It happens a lot. I like to maintain a pretty jovial watch amongst my guys. That's what we do. We're out here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You work with these people. You couldn't maintain that tempo, even if you wanted to. But there has to be, this is serious. We're here to do a job, especially, things like man overboard or what have you. If we were ever in that kind of position, you take that retrospectively, I'd want somebody focused and committed and putting every last bit of effort in there to getting me back.
And that's only 4 or 5 minutes that you've got to get somebody out of that cold water in the North Atlantic.
That's right. The time for jokes is done.
I was impressed with the way that worked on, but I will get to the bottom of your addiction to chocolate milk on board. That's been a theme of these podcasts, because we haven't figured out yet exactly why you all drink chocolate milk at the quantities that you do.
You know what? It's, not me personally. I don't drink the chocolate milk, but a lot of people, they keep up their physical training regimen at sea. They work really hard. It's got that sweetness that'll take that edge off, and the protein. So, that's why they consume a vast amount of chocolate milk. It runs out frequently.
It seems to. Now, talk to me a little bit, or let's hear that message for family, or people back home that you just want to share them, have a chance to hear in your own words, your own voice of what this mission means to you and what they mean to you.
So I was promoted 3 years ago to Petty Officer First Class and above water warfare director. This is a culmination of an 18-year career. All my training, I've reached the pinnacle of what I can within this trade. I can't go any further as far as my level of expertise. This has been my opportunity to test my mettle as an operator, to manage a team. And I have not been more prideful in what I've been able to accomplish.
That's fantastic. And any message for family back home?
For the family, thank you for putting up with what I've been doing for the last 21 years. I know that you see a lot of sailors walking around with their anchor, their SSI, Sea Service insignia. I've achieved silver, so that means I haven't touched land for 3 years with all that culmination of sea days. I've been really thankful to my family for being there, to make sure that I could focus on things. my wife can essentially take care of anything that's thrown her way. And it is absolutely reassuring how strong she is and my kids are and how they can carry on in my absence.
Well, on behalf of Canadians, I can't speak on behalf of Canadians, but on behalf of our organization and the ones that I can speak of, we thank you for your service to our nation. We've put this series together because we want Canadians to understand the service, but also the jobs and the opportunities and the careers that are available, because we need to recruit more, we need to retain more. And we appreciate your service, but we also appreciate the service of your family who backs you up. So to you, fair winds and following seas as you continue on your journey. And we look forward to seeing you back in port in Halifax in December. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this special episode of the EdUp Canada Podcast, Sea of Opportunities. If you like this episode, I hope you leave a review for us as it helps more people to discover the show. If you're interested in a career in the Navy, you can click on the link in the show notes to learn all about the Naval Experience Program. Thanks for learning with us.